Sorry, y'all. Something going on with my damn websites. I'm sorry about that. Yeah, I got it. This is my first time so this, but what I'm talking about was how, you know, Nightmare on Elm Street. Okay. I don't like Nightmare on Elm Street one bit. The remake was trash. The remake was trash. It was trash. Oh my god, the remake was trash. The remake was trash. Completely. Absolutely, completely trash. I'm just gonna come out and say it was trash. It was trash. They should have known better. It was. Mm, I I can't. I can't. I can't do it. I cannot sit here and say that the remake was good. It was not good. It wasn't. It was not good at all. Jake Earl Harley, who played as I can't name that played as Freddy Krueger. uh, Fred. Ah, he tried. You can't get mad at somebody. It's like, well, he tried. They tried. They tried. I'm not gonna lie, they tried. And I wish I could say that it was a good remake. I mean, he worked his heart out trying to be Freddy Krueger. He worked his little heart out. He worked with what other script that he got. He worked his heart out to try and be this character, but you know, it fell flat. I'm sorry, it fell flat. I'm sorry. I'm sorry. It fell flat. It did not do well. It did not. It did not do well. It did not. It did not go well. People were disappointed. I was one. I mean, I was like, why you need to do a remake to something that was already good? And not only that, but also they're tied again because Freddy Krueger had competition because also way before then, you know Freddy Krueger had competition way before then with Jason when they did a remake of Friday the 13th. And we all know we sat there and said, why did y'all do that? I mean, they're both tied because nobody asked for these two to be in the film. And nobody asked for remakes of these two, okay? We didn't need them. Thank you very much. But the one that was on the list was Freddy versus Jason. Now, that right there, that's a disappointment. That right there, that was as disappointed as freaking Mike Tyson versus Larry Holyfield. The ear incident. You know what I'm saying? This was just one of those films where you sit there and you say, who sat there and said this was a good idea? The idea on paper, don't get me wrong, it sounds great. Two slasher icons of the 80s coming face to face in a rock'em sock'em. Yeah, I'm gonna fight you. That's the kind of thing like meet me outside. Catch me outside. How about that? I'm gonna rock you right there. That's how the paper they made it look out so well. Yeah, I'm gonna slash and catch some bodies with the other people, but don't think I won't catch these hands. Don't let me take my glove off, cause I will go what? West side of Elm Street, bro. Springwood fall away. That kind of thing. Jason was like, I don't have to speak nothing. Okay, you in my territory. You in Crystal Lake. This is my home, okay? You want to take this outside the lake? Let's do that. Because I had whatever. I may not know how to swim. I'm sure going to drown you. That's for sure. Like, they really made this, hype this up. And, we fan base was like, oh, this is going to be dope. This going to be dope. And then the film came out. Film came out. And it just disappointed everybody. That That was pretty much like you watching a Mike Tyson match, right? And Mike Tyson about to fight this one guy. You hyped up in hell, and next thing you know, the bell ring, and the match is over in 5 seconds because Mike Tyson knocked the holy daylights out of this one dude. Like you sit there, like you hype, and then you see the whole thing. You like, I paid money for this. Like for real, I paid money for this. Like you sit there and you can't believe it. That's what this movie is about. This movie was the biggest disappointment I ever seen in my life because I literally sat there and said this film should have never been made. This film should have never been made. This film was trash. That's how this was. We all sat there and looked and said we got hooped. Spoiler alert: Jason did win. Jason did give Freddy the hands, so we're glad as well. But this was trash. This was trash. This was trash. I was disappointed. I was angry. I'm like, are you serious? Thank God I'm not a betting woman. Because if I was a betting woman, I would have won. But I've been disappointed because I felt it was trash. And Kelly Rowland, poor baby. This is her first big actor role. Why? Beyonce would never. I'm sorry, I had to say it. My friend made a joke about that. She said Beyonce would never be in some trash like this. Absolutely not. You know, like something like that. But this movie was trash, bro. This film was trash. I'm sorry about the last video. I had to do part 2, so this is part 2. So it was trash. Next thing that was on my list was the remake of Psycho. First of all, R.I.P. Anne Hirsch. May she rest may she rest in heaven. I know it's not nice to make fun of her. I know she passed away this year. You know, God bless her family. Condolences to them. Still. So it's just copy and paste with color. That's pretty much what this whole thing is. It is just copy and paste with color. Vince Vaughn, Anne Hirsch, Julianne Moore. I mean, these were the stars. I can't remember half of them. All of her, I forget. See, that's how bad this film is. I can't remember half of them. But Gus Van, who directed this film, you all remember your name, but I can't. Look. Okay, Psycho was classic. Psycho is untouched. Psycho is that film that everybody tried to mimic and failed. The only thing that came close to succeeding is Bates Motel, and that was a retelling from the prequel to a sequel and to a finale. All of us in the span of a series, and nailed it with twists and turns and stuff like that. That really made it stand out. I could say Psycho 2 and 3 because it does have some of the same characters from the original and it gives more depth to Norman Bates. But that's for a different category because, you know, that's going to be another one of my ideas. But Psycho itself, that film is untouchable, for real. Film historians, film professors, everybody always either use Psycho or The Godfather as the quintessential of how to be a filmmaker. That's pretty much what it was. Okay? Psycho did that thing. Psycho pulled the biggest shockers. Kill off your first main actress, Janet Leigh, who's like this huge actress at the time. And, you know, we thought she would get the main lead, you know, tell the whole story. No, Alfred Hitchcock's like, nah, bro, let me pull, you know, Game of Thrones. Let me pull a Red Wedding on you. And decide to just off her off in the first couple of minutes into the film. And you're like, what? You did what? And then you put this other, what? Like, people were still shocked. And don't you get me started about the shower scene. That still petrifies me to this day. I'm afraid to take showers with the blinds and stuff. I just, wide open. Yeah, man, wet the floor, but I want to see something I have weapon. I want to see whatever that is. Don't scare me. That's how impact that Alfred Hitchcock Psycho did. And the grand finale at the end, the twists and turns. great. That does not mean you get to remake the whole film shot by shot with color. Like you sit there, you're like, this man. It's almost like, yo, let me copy your homework. Okay, yeah, but just do some difference on it so it won't be obvious. Okay, so it was set in the 90s. Okay. You had some technology. Okay. But everything else. Alfred Hitchcock almost came out of his grave and literally gave him a karate chop. Like, come on now. Come on now. Like, really? Like that was the biggest joke of the 90s. I remember seeing it and saying to myself, who in their right mind? I mean, nobody can play Anthony Peakins. Nobody. There could only be one Norman Bates. And I know, I'm sorry, Vince Vaughn. I know you're pretty cool and everything, but this wasn't it. This was not it. This is, you can't. You can't. You can't do a you can't. I don't care if you do a remake and you cut Tom Holland as Norman Bates. You can't. You can't. You can't do that. No. That film was a no. You could not do it. You could not do a remake of that film and think that it was going to be Gus Van Sant. Man, you took an L for this movie. I took notes on the computer, so don't think about it. I took notes on Tuesday. But you can't, bro. You can't do something like this and think that this gonna get away with it, because you can't. That's you can't, bro. I'm surprised the family didn't sue yet. I probably gonna have to do a remake on that one. But like, come on, man. You can't do that. You can't do that. Okay, that's just trash. That was trash. And I'm not saying it because you just say that because nah, bro. I remember it came out. I was a kid. I saw the original, I freaked out. When I saw that, I'm like, wait a minute, it's just copy and paste, bro. Like you really did with color. Like that's the kind of thing. Like, what? Get out of here. That is not a good move, bro. That was a big like literally. Like even Roper said it was just copy and paste. Like, come on now. Don't do something like that. Come on now. Shameful. Shameful. Okay. So my next list on this thing, I have picked out some next, so I think it'll be done unless that feels. But I bubble, so whatever. Next list that I did is Mother of Tears by Diego Edgar. I fucked up his last name. Sorry. It is part of the last of the Three Mothers series. The first one he did was Suspiria, my fave. The second one was Inferno, my fave. And then you had this. I'm not gonna say anything because it's Dario Argento's last hurrah. I can't say that, it's bad. I can't say that, oh my god, this film is awful. This is terrible. I can't say that. Dario Argento, yeah, this was his, swan song. This was, he just kind of, he is he did direct, other films, which that's why I took the notes down, because he did other films, but this one right here was just, it wasn't it. Wasn't it. It was bad. And the reason why I'm more mellow to it, because it's like you could see that, he was starting to get a little bit older around that time. And a lot of people were like, well, he probably don't have it anymore. He probably just like, I don't got it. Yeah. A lot of people were like, yeah. It left a sour taste, pretty much. Like, you really don't want to end your great series on a whimper. I mean, you start with a scream and then you end in like a, and a lot of horror movie fans were like, come on this you shouldn't go out like this. The series should not go out like this. Like literally, people were like, "Oh, come on now, man. Come on, man. Don't do this. Come on." I mean, I know that they was trying to keep it alive, but it just did do it for a lot of people. It did do it for a lot of people. It just like that's pretty much what it was. It was like, boom, look at the gore. Woo. Yay. You're sitting there like, wow, what's this? Like you literally sit there like, what is this? Like, what are you giving us? Like, what are you showing? And it made a lot of people sad about it. So it wasn't a really good movie. It was mostly just tragic. It was tragic. To be really honest, like you sit there, you're like, oh, dude, what did you do? Like literally that kind of thing. But I still love his work. It was just that was just not his finest moment. So, am I sad that it had to go out like that? Yes. Do I wish it didn't have to go out like that? Yes. I wish it would have, gave us a little bit more of a oomph to it, a little bit more cooler to it. But, you can't always ask for what you want. You sometimes gotta get what you get, So I was like, oh man, seriously. So, but it was pretty much. It's pretty much very more sad than there is like horror because you kind of sit there like, oh man, you got out like this, but I can't. I'm done. I'm sorry. I can't sit there. Just sit there. I can't. So, but Dario Argento did make a comeback. It wasn't a huge one, but he did make a comeback. So, I don't know what to say. He made a comeback. Okay, some of the films were like, Dracula 3D. That kind of thing. So, you gotta sit there and just say, well, he's still chucking out films. But that one, that was like, no. That was the one thing that we need to put that in the back category. That's the type of film that reminds you of that old person that really need to go to the home because he still thinks it's 1967 and he still had that radio. Like that kind of thing. Like no, grandpa. No. Just go there. Like that was the type of film. Like you sat there and you were like, oh, that was a sad film. That was kind of like, no. That was the kind of film. But I digress. I digress. But okay. And last but certainly, unbeknownstly, inconceivably last on my list to with anyone have ever known is The Uninvited. I'm gonna come out here. Okay. I love horror films. I love horror films. I love international horror films. I love them as much as they love me, which is very little. But I mean, yeah, there are some good Japanese horror films, good Korean horror films, good Indian horror films, good Filipino horror films, and then there's crap. And Hollywood seemed to like to remake some of these things. Not everybody can be a Ring. Not everybody can be a Grunge. And this was one of them. The Undivided was a remake of the South Korean horror film, The Tale of Two Sisters, which is hands down one of the, if not one of, the best South Korean horror film that is on the list as one of the top 100 best horror films that people should see before they die. I have that book. It's packed somewhere. But I have that book, and it's on that list. People were already mad when rumors were circling that this was gonna get remade. Like, are you serious? Not everybody could be like the Ring after they messed that up, and not everybody could be like the Grunge, which is not messed up, but we kind of like well, the Grunge is it's suitable. Part 1 and 2 was okay. 3 we didn't know where we were going, but not everybody can be like that too. And you're gonna do a remake of Tales of Two Sisters, bruh. I mean, look, it was okay. It's okay. But it was just not good. I have the list of cast members. Elizabeth Banks was in it, my favorite. David Strathairn was in it, cool. And Ellie Brown was in it. I don't know what you're saying. Who was she again? She was in Pompeii. She was in a lot of other films. She was in. If we really know, she was in American Gods before that got plugged. They were in those films, and they had good actors, and it was okay. And I couldn't. I couldn't. I mean, everybody who's seen the film sat there in horror. Like, we really sat there and said, they remade what? Like, it was literally the shocker. Like, they remade what? Like, that's like saying they canceled Doctor Who. What? You know, Doctor 13 wasn't that good. And we were surprised that was making it. But that's beside the point. But that's like saying that. That was just, we, horror movie community, we were devastated. That film was trash. Okay, I'm sorry. I sat there and I said, "This is trash, bro. This is trash. How dare you make something like this? How dare you touch this iconic film of 2003 and just think that this is gonna be okay? We're just gonna change it up a little bit and put it there, and nobody's gonna know no difference." Are you kidding, sir? Like, are you serious? I was gonna put the remake of Sorority Row, but then I rewatched that and I'm like, it ain't that bad compared to this. That's for sure. This, everybody, if you were nerd like me, we all know about South Korean horror films. We all know about that, and we could smell a remake from a mile away. No, it's a reimagination. No, bro, it's a remake, and not a good one either. That was a bad remake. Okay, South Korea was getting sling left and right until they did the Squid Games. So now they're like, hey, we're gonna do the Squid Games. Netflix only did that, but this all South Korea was getting remade left to right, right to left. They did Dark Waters, then they did but that was Japanese. No, God, I don't even know. They did so many freaking remakes of Asian films. It wasn't even freaking funny. I think the only time they did start making remakes of Asian films was mostly because Squid Games came out. But like, for real, now they're doing animated films remakes. That's but that film was trash. Okay, if you couldn't change it, it was trash. We all saw between the thin lines of all of this. It was trash. I was hurt. My friend was hurt. If you're a horror movie fan, you were hurt. Everybody was hurt. This was just a bad film altogether. It was just not that good. But that's my list for horror films that were not good. I'm probably gonna do horror films that were excellent. That's gonna probably take 3 videos for just to get that one. But those are the films that just should have never been made. Absolutely should have not been made. So, that being said, I'm about to log off. Follow me on IG. Follow me on YouTube. I'm gonna take myself a rest. I'm gonna watch some good horror films. I'm gonna probably be watching um, this one horror film that's coming out right now. I think I forgot what it is. It's a Japanese horror film. I think it's called it's anime. think it's called the movie the Vanishing Classroom. Probably watch that or something. Or probably watch Judo Into Collection. I'm gonna do collections by hymns. By then, I'll probably pronunciate the word a little while better because technically I haven't listened. But let me watch some good horror films. Probably good Japanese horror films. Probably that one too because that could be me listing all these crappy horror films that have been made. I'm starting to have trauma. So maybe I'm gonna log off and give you guys some air. Until then, this is your Popper. Thank you guys so much for following me on. Subscribe and follow. Bye.